Jalon Walker is one of the most enigmatic players in the 2025 draft class. Is he an edge? Is he an off-ball linebacker? And will he go top 10? Let's break down the film. What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here from Play Like a Jet, and we're back in the film room with another All-22 breakdown, and today we're evaluating Jalon Walker. He's a guy who I project to play the edge position at the next level. The issue with that is he's 6'1" and he has 5th percentile arm length for the position. So, is he an option for the Jets at 7? Because I'm telling you, that's picking up some late steam. For me, I'll give the answer away early, he's not. I thought he was too raw, and the film did not warrant being drafted that early. So what am I talking about? In the 5 games I watched, Jalon Walker had 26 true pass rush reps from the edge position, and I thought too many of them lacked a plan. Here's a great example to start the video. Against Clemson, Walker's number 11 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Look at how he just goes through the chest, tries to go long arm inside stab, and we have a stalemate. On its own, this rep means absolutely nothing. This is just a normal rep on a down-to-down basis. But when you break down every single one and the majority look exactly like this, I mean identical, that's when you start running into issues. So, as I mentioned, has the shorter arms. But in saying that, he still wants to go long arm inside stab almost every rush. Let's see what it looks like. Walker tries to hit that left arm to the inside, misses his spot, goes over the shoulder, and is just absorbed and engulfed by the left tackle. Again, this is a theme. This is what the majority of reps look like against these 5 SEC and strong teams. It was Texas twice, Bama, Clemson, and Notre Dame. This was the average rep, and that scared me a hell of a lot. I want to see him have a bag, use some bend and rip and dip around the edge to cross chop. There was none of it. And I get that he's young, and I get that he played a lot of off-ball linebacker, but I don't think that's why you're drafting him. You're drafting him to get after the quarterback. And just to really nail it home, here's another example against the Fighting Irish. Walker coming from the right-hand side of the Georgia formation. Just a very similar rep. You're going to see him try to go long arm inside stab, really establish with the left hand. He does, but there's no impetus there. There's no movement. And again, it's just a whitewash of a rep for Walker. If you want to see all 26 of these consecutively in a 2-minute package, there's a good little video on my Twitter, LukeGrant7. But for now, this is what I can show you. The majority of the reps just underwhelmed me, and they all looked the same. But let's get on to the positives. When it worked, it looked super effective. Walker on this occasion establishes really nicely with the right hand. He gets it into the chest of the tackle here against Texas. Look how he grabs the wrist of the trail hand. He makes sure he defeats that, and then he's able to swipe to the inside and get a pressure. Now, it worked sometimes, but again, you're seeing the same move. This isn't normal when you're evaluating what will be a top 10 pick at the edge position, no matter how young and inexperienced he is. He's used the same pass rush technique every single snap in today's video. And on this occasion, it's going to be another win for Walker, but he's going to get to the outside, coming from the right-hand side of your screen. Stop me if that looks familiar. Again, it's effective. He bats the hand and gets an incompletion here, but you're going to get long arm inside stab, try and grab the outside trail hand of the tackle, get that off your chest, and this time wings to the outside around the ring. I just wish there was variety and something else, because it just felt so repetitive watching him. And I kept going, where's the special traits as an edge, especially at 6'1", when you know you're going to be severely undersized. Now, I mentioned that the sample size was small, only 26 true pass rush reps from this position as a 3-4 outside linebacker or a defensive end. He had 3 sacks in those games, and that sounds really promising, right? Here they are. I'm going to show you them consecutively. I personally would say this is almost a loss. He is deep around the ring. The quarterback doesn't step up. He's 11 yards in the backfield, and Walker ends up diving at his legs 15 yards deep and gets the sack. But I think the tackle actually does a pretty nice job working him around the ring. He starts to push him into the backfield. The quarterback, for some reason, is just standing 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage and puts himself in a really dangerous position. But there is one of the 3 sacks that Walker had as a true pass rusher in the 5 games I watched. The other 2 were against Banks and Texas. Now, for me, Again, this is being critical, but that's what I do when I'm putting a lens on someone for the number 7 overall pick. Neither of these are good pass rush moves. Like, he is strong, he does a nice job avoiding contact, but Banks gives up so much territory. This is far too deep a pass set. I talked about it in his individual review, and Walker almost gets a cleanup sack. Look where he is before he touches Banks. He's in the lap of the quarterback. This isn't, oh my goodness, look at 11 go, this kid's a stud. This is, it's kind of lucked into a sack, and it's a pretty bad rep from Banks, who I did like overall. And the other one from the same game, you're going to see a bit of a struggle, a long tussle. It's a 3.5 to 4 second sack. He eventually gets to the quarterback. But again, there's no technique here. Where is the club, the spin, anything of that nature? It all just kind of looked messy, and I don't like banking on that from the edge position. But without a doubt, Walker's best tape came when he was stood up and roving around the line of scrimmage. So as I've mentioned, he's number 11 for Georgia. He's over the guard. Look how he just disposes of him, goes straight through the quarterback for the pressure. He is elite. Inside with space in obvious pass rushing situations. He's going to destroy guards. Of course he is. He is one of the better athletes in this draft class. But this isn't that realistic in the NFL. He's not going to play defensive tackle. This would have to be as a blitzing linebacker who's then mugging the A gap or the B gap. It looks great. But to do this effectively, you need to be able to do other off-ball linebacker things. Another example of it, Walker walking down to the line of scrimmage, excuse the pun, goes straight through. Like, look at the aggression and physicality here on the running back. I love that. And again, gets the pressure and forces an incompletion. He's got great agility. I love him roaming in this kind of capacity. He looks extremely dangerous, obviously. And it happened over and over again. Every time he was walked down, this time against Texas, he's a huge part of this sack. This is a really cool skill set. It's really useful. It gets even more useful when you put in there that he can be a great quarterback spy. I've circled him for you here against Arch Manning in Texas. Look how he's there, watching the quarterback, moves as he's flushed from the pocket, and makes a great play. Like, this is elite level athleticism. This plays in the NFL. My big but and caveat to that is, to be effective as an off-ball linebacker, you need to be great in zone coverage or have more ability as a run stopper from the second level. Like, this is kind of Walker's limitation. This is what he looks like in zone coverage. He's going to run over, play a hook zone, and get there. Look, I know this is a nothing example. This is just one that I pulled, but like, this is who he is in coverage. That's not going to play in the NFL. You can't have Jalon Walker as a hook over the middle of the field against elite level slots and tight ends. Like, it's not going to do anything for you. So in saying that, where does that leave him as an off-ball linebacker and that little blitz package over the guard that I just showed you? Is that particularly useful? I just don't know. So guys, that's where I'm at with off-ball linebacker / edge from Georgia, Jalon Walker. I think he's a bit of a tweener. He's undersized for a rusher in the NFL. He lacks some length, and I need to see a pass rush move. Now, I understand that it can develop and he can get better, but I'm not taking tools at number 7 overall.